Operation Midnight Hammer. This operation was not so much different from what we saw in Venezuela, where the president was captured in 30 minutes and flown out of the country. This operation also was done at midnight, and no Iranian was able to know that their country was attacked or their airspace was penetrated by the USA V-2 bombers or by the USA's aircrafts. So they didn't know. When the Americans announced the program or the news, that's when they knew that their nuclear programs were obliterated. So that's when they learned about it. So let's dive into it. They said Iran was about to get a nuclear bomb alongside with Israel. Israel was also involved.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
In 2015, they had a joint comprehensive plan of action signed in July 2015. At this time, Obama was president. It was a landmark diplomatic accord between Iran and the P5+1, the 5 permanent members of the United Security Council, the USA, UK, France, China, and Russia, plus Germany, alongside the European Union. The core of the deal was compliance for relief swap. Iran agreed to strict long-term limits on its nuclear program in exchange for a lifting of crippling international economic sanctions. The Obama administration designed the deal to extend Iran breakout time, the time needed to produce enough fissile material for one nuclear bomb, from roughly 2 to 3 months to at least 1 year. Iran agreed to reduce its stockpile of enriched uranium by 98% from 10,000 kilograms to 300 kilograms, limit enriched levels to 3.67, far below the 90% for a weapon. Centrifuge reduction. Iran agreed to cut its number of installed centrifuges by about 2/3, leaving only its oldest, least efficient models in operation. The Arak reductor. To block the plutonium path to a bomb, Iran agreed to redesign its heavy water reactor at Arak so it could not produce weapons-grade plutonium and shipped its spent fuel out of the country. The controversial. While the Obama administration held the program or the deal as historic success for proliferation, the deal was highly controversial. Opponents, including many Republicans and leaders in Israel and Saudi Arabia, argued the deal was too temporary. They pointed to sunset clauses, provisions that would expire after 10 to 15 years, and criticized the deal for not addressing Iranian ballistic missile program or its support for regional proxies like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis in Yemen. In 2018, the Trump administration officially withdrew the United States from the deal, calling it the worst deal ever, and reimposing maximum pressure sanctions. Following the US withdrawal, Iran eventually began exceeding the deal limits on enrichment and stockpiles. By early 2026, the deal has largely collapsed, with Iran enrichment levels reaching as high as 60% and the original 2015 framework remaining a central but stalled point of international tensions. So as the US withdrew from the deal, Iran began enriching the uranium and was about to produce a nuclear bomb in 2 months, as they said. So Israel and the USA, Israel went first with its airplanes, started bombing different sites and missile programs of Iran and so forth. So The Americans came later with the B-2 bombers, and they also launched missiles from the sea, from the Tomahawks and so forth. So it was a campaign, a 10-day war. So here is the details of the strikes. A coordinated strike package of over 125 aircraft, including 7 B-2 Spirit steel bombers, nearly a third of the entire B-2 fleet. The targets: the Fordo and Natanz, targeted with 15 GBU 57 MOPs, 30,000 pound bombs to penetrate deeply buried enriched sites. Isfahan, struck by over 30 Tomahawks cruise missiles launched from a USA Navy submarine, likely the USS Georgia. Tactics: the USA used deception, sending decoy B-2s toward Guam, and heavy electronic warfare to blind Iranian air defenses. Report indicated no Iranian surface-to-air missiles were launched in response during the raid. Strategic impact. Damage assessment: the Pentagon reported that Natanz was destroyed and both Fordo and Isfahan suffered major damage. Breakout delay. Estimates from July 2025 suggest that a strike set back Iranian nuclear program by approximately 2 years. Context: the operation occurred during the brief Iranian-Israel War of June 2025 and remained the only direct US offense on Iranian soil since the 1980s.
In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace.